Dalavina guia dolosana angito talita kini ana warong ng Bula FM e Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na dang kutevita utungoi 90 ando talita ka wale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Na dang ko makilesi werkraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Gatabo ando talita na warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM number 2 ana sir.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Tonight, Health Ministry confirms outbreak of conjunctivitis in the country. More Fijians to be offered seasonal work in Australia and New Zealand. And police record a massive 556 traffic infringements during the long Easter weekend. The Health Ministry has today confirmed there is an outbreak of conjunctivitis in the country. Assistant Minister for Health Vina Bhatnagar says the ministry is now working around the clock to contain the spread of the disease. Savaira Tamboa has more.
Conjunctivitis or Zika, as it's commonly known, is a viral infection disease and has mostly affected the people in the Central Division. But the Health Ministry says the whole country is now on alert.
What I have previously mentioned, that this outbreak especially seen in the Central Division. So our health facilities are now seeing about 50 to 100 cases on a daily basis.
Chief Pharmacist Apolosi Bosanimbola says health facilities are also now facing a shortage of medication used to cure the disease.
At the national level, at the warehouse here in Nambua, we are running very low with our chlorophenicol eye drop. And as part of our strategy for those things that we cannot predict, for those diseases that is an outbreak classifications, we have a strategy, procurement strategy whereby we can source quickly from Australia or New Zealand or from nearby suppliers where we can meet the demand.
The annual supply of conjunctivitis eye drops normally receives next month, but due to the outbreak of the disease, Bosanimbola says an immediate supply is expected tomorrow. As soon as the supply arrives, the stocks will be distributed as soon as possible to all areas. Sabaira Tambua, FBC News.
The Ministry of Employment is hoping to have further discussions with the governments of Australia and New Zealand to recruit more workers under the seasonal workers scheme. Employment Minister Semi Koroi-Lavasau says this will also help rebuild the lives of Fijians affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Ali Kimbia has more.
Fijians who are badly affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston will now get the first chance to be recruited under the seasonal worker scheme.
That is the effort that government has put on, and hopefully this will contribute to the reconstruction of the cyclone affected areas. That is something that I hope to discuss with the Prime Minister to try and concentrate the workers that will leave this year mainly to the cyclone affected areas so that they can rebuild their lives and the lives of their communities.
Despite the ongoing issues on the welfare of workers, Koroi-Lavasau says if Australia and New Zealand agree to recruit more workers, this will also boost the economic activity in various communities.
We hope that we will be able to encourage the Australian employers and New Zealand employers to recruit more workers from Fiji and assist rural isolated areas where there's no economic activity there. This can create economic activities in the local area that they live in.
Ministry of Employment has assured all seasonal workers that their welfare is a priority in this employment agreement. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Cabinet members today met and discussed various reports from the ground after Tropical Cyclone Winston. Prime Minister Voringem Bainimarama says they will look at all the assessments made by all the ministries from the past weeks. Bainimarama says matters arising from each ministry will be discussed throughout the week.
What we did this morning was to get together all the facts and figures about the damages that occurred throughout all the ministries. and we'll be looking through all those figures in the next couple of weeks.
A total of 556 traffic infringements were recorded during the long Easter weekend. The Western Division recorded the highest number of traffic offences, followed by the Southern, Northern and Eastern Division respectively. Kelly Vadala has the details.
Despite numerous reminders to the public before the long Easter weekend, some drivers on our roads failed to adhere to the warnings.
We have recorded 24 cases of drink and drive, 424 cases of speeding, 19 cases of careless driving, 89 cases of other running offences. The total was 556 traffic infringement or traffic offences recorded by officers.
Mishra says some drivers need to be mindful of the lives of others while travelling on the road.
A reminder to the drivers, especially those who are taking charge of committing serious traffic offences, that you think back and look at yourself and also try to think of the safety of others and also the safety of yourself. Please do not compromise with those type of behavior, because you are putting yourself at risk and also you are putting the other innocent road users at risk.
The only consolation was that there were no road fatalities during the Easter weekend, but police is still concerned with the number of drivers who continue to break the rules. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Some projects and programs from the 2016 budget will continue in the new financial year from August 1st. This has been confirmed by Finance Minister Said Qayyum as the new financial year begins from 1st August as announced yesterday.
This year's financial year will be the shortest one, as it will only be for 6 months. A new budget will come into effect from 1st August, which may have some projects that are yet to be implemented this year.
Of course, some of the programs will continue. So, for example, there may be a capital project that was going to be implemented in, say, September of this year. Then obviously they'll come in the new budget year. But there may have been projects that's already done this year. So that won't be factored into the program for next year.
Syed Qayyum says they will have to look into projects that have been budgeted for over 2 financial year periods.
There are also at the same time projects that are ongoing projects. So you could have for example, the building of, say, a hospital that would have been, taken 18 months. So that would have been budgeted for, factored in over 2 budget periods. Could have been 2016, 2017. So now if some of those monies have been spent, obviously Ministry of Finance team will go through that as to how much monies have been spent for the particular project.
The Finance Minister says that once his team finds the remainder amount from these projects, it can be used into the following financial year. However, some projects that have already been completed this year will not be included into the program next year. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, more than $1 million worth of damage to traffic lights infrastructure.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rugby Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Value. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavwa Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the...
Welcome back. This is FBC News. More than $1 million worth of damage has been sustained by streetlights and traffic signal infrastructure after Tropical Cyclone Winston. Prime Fiji, which looks after the infrastructure, is requesting members of the public to remain patient as level of damage is resulting in some delays in repairs and replacements. Saniani Boila has more.
Prime Fiji says damage caused by TC Winston has run into the millions, and its team are working round the clock to restore service as quickly as possible.
We've estimated the damage will be somewhere between $1.2 and $1.5 million. That's predominantly the street lights. Most of the traffic signals we got up and running pretty much within a few days following.
Teams from the Greater Suva area have been deployed to the Western and Northern Division to repair some of the hardest hit areas.
Overall, we've installed 800 new lights since the cyclone. and it continues to move. So as soon as we finish in Bar and Savu, we'll send a team to Levuka. Then we'll focus our efforts into Raki and Tavua, and from there we'll move back into Lautoka and tidy up any loose ends there.
Prime Fiji is currently working on 400 streetlights in Bar that were devastated after tropical cyclone Winston, and are urging members of the public to exercise caution and cooperate. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
The Fiji Sugar Corporation says it will save up to $50 million worth of repair works at its Penang mill if it is to rigorously follow its projected plan to introduce sugar syrup into the market in the new season. Executive Chair Abdul Khan says this will also work well with the cogeneration plans that are in place for the Rarawai mill in the not-so-distant future. Madium Bolaitamana with this report.
Turning the ills of tropical cyclone Winston at its Penang mill to what could most certainly be its golden goose if all works out well. This is the aim of the Fiji Sugar Corporation.
What we're looking at doing is actually processing all the sugar cane out of Penang mill and then taking it only to the syrup stage rather than to the crystallized sugar stage. And the idea is to then bring that syrup in the first instance into Lautoka mill where we've got some additional capacity, but later on into Rarawai mill when we've got the cogen, because we can then run the Rarawai mill all year round.
Khan says the concept works out well for the pending repair works at the Penang mill, which will not be in operation this crushing season.
Now what that does is the utilization of asset at Rarawai mill improves. We don't have to spend another $40 or $50 million on top of $45 million in Penang mill to just duplicate it. The other advantage is, especially with where the market for sugar is at the moment, it's better for us to just go to syrup stage and then see where the market is for sugar and then convert that syrup into that sugar which is more marketable in the world market.
With total damages sustained at its mills sitting at $50 million, Khan says they have been in talks with their insurers on the much needed repair works.
Yeah, in terms of the mill repairs, we did have an insurance policy in place, so the payout from insurance will help us repair most of the stuff, especially the Lautoka and the Rarawai mill, and have them both ready for start of crush.
Maintenance works like this have been carried out here at the Lautoka mill, the Rarawai and Lambasa mills. Abdul Khan says the crushing season is expected to start in August. Madium Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Sugar Corporation Executive Chairman Abdul Khan says it is working with the sugar industry stakeholders and encouraging farmers to keep their crops to ensure some kind of harvest in the coming months. Khan says whilst the 2016 season is already out the door following the devastation tropical cyclone Winston, the hope for the industry is that the little left will spur a better and bigger 2017 season.
It's now just a matter of just keeping an eye on the crop, and hopefully it'll pick up and we'll have a better feel of it in April. So in terms of the farmers, we're asking them to hang in there, work with us, and although we know 2016 season's not going to be the best season, but we're here for the long haul, so hopefully 2017 onwards we should see a more and a better season.
Thousands of vegetable seedlings are being distributed in the Mboa and Dakandrove province this week. As Eleanor Rangaivu reports, the seedlings are from SPC-funded nursery projects in Madhuwata.
Eggplant, capsicum and tomato seedlings from Avinash Kumar's farm in Lobe Madhuwata are being collected to be distributed to farmers in Mboa and the Dakandrove that were affected by tropical cyclone Winston.
I had much enough seed waste, so I thought to just distribute to all the farmers so that they can back up on their food security.
Kumar owns one of the 7 nurseries in Madhuwata that comes under the SPC's Improvement of Key Services to Agriculture or ICSA project. All 7 nurseries will supply seedlings to the Ministry of Agriculture for distribution.
Since the seedlings are in the hardening states, we need to supply these within 1 week's time.
It will take at least 3 weeks to distribute the seedlings, with the first lot of distribution starting over the weekend.
So there'll be approximately an average of 15 plants per households for individuals vegetable such as capsicum, tomatoes, eggplant.
About 1,000 farmers in the Mua and the Conjunctivitis province lost majority of their farms during the cyclone. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
The global manhunt has intensified for the mysterious third bomber at the Brussels airport, with investigators releasing the first moving pictures of him. It comes as one of the men arrested hours after the twin attacks was freed because of the lack of evidence.
Tonight, a call for help from Belgian authorities, releasing that new video to help find the man in the black hat, one of the most wanted men in Europe, seen here walking calmly through the airport departures hall moments before the blast went off. This weekend, it seemed police were close to cracking the case, charging this man, Faisal Shefu, with terrorist murder in connection with the Brussels attacks. Shefu calls himself a freelance journalist and has been detained in the past for trying to recruit refugees for jihad. A senior Belgian official on Twitter calling him an extremist jihadi horror. But today, Shefu was released, the judge saying there isn't enough evidence to hold him. In doing so, likely conceding that Shefu is not the man in the black hat. We tracked him down today as he came home from jail to his mother's apartment.
Monsieur Shefu? Oui. Je m'appelle Alex avec FBC. On peut vous parler? Venez 2 secondes.
He invites us to come upstairs. But at the door, realizing we were reporters, he angrily shouted at us to get out. Even free, Shefu still faces multiple terror charges, and police are dealing with the reality that the man in the black hat is still out there.
Sports now, here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up tonight, Savanada Rawatha cleared from injury, and local boxers lose out in Olympic qualifiers. We'll have this and more after the break.
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए। मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
हम नकाशी से साइमान है, हम वेजिटेबल जैसे नंबर 1 है, वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है।
माय नेम इज दिनेश, हम नैनी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जैंट जिपलाइन में, और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट, आई लाइक इट। मिर्ची एफएम।
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team moved into camp today for the last phase of preparation ahead of the Hong Kong and Singapore Sevens. The team is all but ready, with Savanada Rawatha cleared of a hand injury, while an overseas-based player will join the side in Hong Kong next week. Vashnil Prasad with the details.
The lineman of the Fiji Sevens team, Savanada Rawatha, has been cleared of a hand injury. The 24-year-old was rested last week, but was back in action in training from today.
Had a scan done on Friday, and basically it's all cleared. It's just swelling on his arm, so you know he's ready to go. Once he realized that there's no breakage, nothing serious to it.
Coach Ben Ryan is expected to name 13 local players on Thursday, while a lone overseas-based player will join the team in Hong Kong next week.
I suppose with a short week he'll directly come into Hong Kong. He's got training programs as well, like a few others that's been provided with training programs, so you know we've been keeping tabs with him.
It is a tough task ahead for the side, knowing they will have to defend the Hong Kong Sevens title, plus remain on the top of the Sevens World Series standings.
As we know, in Fiji, we categorize the Hong Kong as the number 1 tournament. You know, ever since growing up, everyone's been after Hong Kong. So, you know, with this bunch of boys as well, they are keen to get, you know, put on the jersey for Hong Kong. And it'll be a tough week. They had a tough session last week, and this week it'll be even tougher.
These boys will carry the nation's hope and will look forward to bag their 3rd title of the season at the Mecca of the Sevens next weekend. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, changes are expected in the Telecom Fijianas for the next leg of the World Rugby Women's 7 Series in USA and Canada. With 14 players allowed to travel for this leg, Fijiana officials have the chance to test out more players for the Rio Olympics. Rohit Deo reports.
Only 3 tournaments remain for the Telecom Fijiana side
before they play at the Rio Olympics. It has been a mixed outing for the Ilesa Tanivula side so far, and expect few new faces in the next tournament in Atlanta.
Yeah, there's a few girls knocking on the door. There's going to be a few changes on the team. Just looking at the bigger picture in August in Rio, we'll test a few players on this trip. It's a back-to-back tournament for the girls, and it's the first for them this season, and it's something we're looking forward to.
Tanivula adds his team has been preparing well, and the players have picked up from where they left off in Sao Paulo last month.
It's been intense. The girls have really showed a lot, and getting into the program, and you can see the difference physically on the girls. They've changed their body shape, and which is good to see, and the level of fitness has gone up.
The Atlanta Sevens will be played next Saturday and Sunday. Fiji is pooled with Australia, England and Colombia. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
Top local club Yamadhya will not feature at next month's Mara Sevens. Yamadhya is not part of the 80 teams released by the organisers last week. Meanwhile, the secondary schools competition, which was supposed to begin at the tournament this year, will start from next year.
We wanted to have a secondary school rugby or under 19 rugby, under 18s rugby, sorry. But it's a bit unfair on the students because they're having the Coca-Cola Athletics finals the very next week. So in their interest, because of injury scare maybe for students, we thought we'd just hold that till next year.
The tournament will be played on the 22nd and 23rd of next month at the NZ Stadium in Suva. The Suva football side will play 2 warm-up matches in New Zealand ahead of the Oceania Football Confederation Champions League next month. The Gurjit Singh coach side plays New Zealand clubs Papakura and Bay Olympic next week as they prioritise game time before the regional meet. The capital city side failed to make it past the group stages at last year's tournament, losing 2 out of 3 matches. The OFC Champions League kicks off on the 8th of April with Nandi playing Tahiti's Air Stefana on the opening day, while Suva takes on Team Wellington in its first match a day later. You can watch live and delayed coverage of matches from the tournament on FBC TV. The Rio football side hosts Mba in this weekend's Vodafone Premier League match of the round. The Delta Tigers should have the upper hand in front of their home crowd, but a thrilling match is always expected whenever these two teams meet. The game kicks off at 3 p.m. at Nasori's Ratu Dakambao Park on Sunday, while at the same time Nandrunga plays Lautoka at Nandi's Prince Charles Park. Suva currently leads the National League standing with 6 points. Local amateur boxers Pauliasi Ratu Jr., Winston Hill and Tina Ruata lost their respective bouts in the AIBA Olympic qualification event in China over the weekend. The results end the trio's hopes of qualifying for the Rio Olympics, but the Fiji Amateur Boxing Association is proud that their fighters were exposed to top-level boxing. Tsale Ndawdakadaka has more.
The Fiji Amateur Boxing Association is happy with the performance of our 3 local fighters who participated in the Oceania and Asian Olympic qualification event in China.
We're competing with countries like China, Japan, Korea, India, Thailand. These are major boxing nations, and for our boys to even just get there and compete, it argues well for the federation.
The 3 fighters have been training at local heavyweight boxer Napoleon Taumaupiau's gym in Turak Suva for the past few months, and he says the trio gave their 100% effort to prepare for the competition.
I'm very familiar with overseas training style, so it didn't come down to the fitness. It didn't come down to the lack of commitment. At the end, it came down to experience. Some of the boys that were fighting there were they were on the 200, 300 fights. Winston, I think all 3 of them, I think Winston has the most fights. I think he has around 36 or 37 fights.
Only the top 3 boxers from each weight division will automatically qualify for the Rio Olympics. The national squad, along with coach Pauliasi Ratu Sr., will return from China next Tuesday. Tsale Ndawdakadaka, FBC Sports.
That is your sports for this evening. Jack is up next with business.
An additional $35 million has been paid out by the Fiji National Provident Fund for 26,224 Tropical Cyclone Winston natural disaster applications during the Easter long weekend. As of 1 p.m. this afternoon, $135.6 million has been paid out to FMPF members. FMPF Chief Operating Officer Chochi Karoi has reaffirmed the fund's commitment to members that all duly completed applications will be processed and paid out by 4th of April. He adds the biggest challenge is the incomplete forms, and a team is currently dealing with these applications. Karoi has confirmed that around 300 applications have been received from overseas-based members, and their applications will be validated this week. A total of 146,000 applications were received by the fund. Showers were experienced over most places today as a trough of low pressure with associated cloud and showers affects Fiji. Despite the wet conditions, Nandi, Lautoka and Ba hit 32 degrees, while Suva, Savasava and Lambasa were on 30. Forecast to midnight tomorrow for the Fiji group is for occasional showers over most places, isolated heavy falls and thunderstorms expected. And the further outlook for Thursday is for cloudy periods with some showers about the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. And recapping the main stories for tonight, eye medication prices a concern, more Fijians to be offered seasonal work in Australia and New Zealand, and 556 traffic infringements were recorded during the long Easter weekend. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to the results from last week's poll question. We had asked, is Fiji progressing well after Tropical Cyclone Winston? 77% said yes. And this week we are asking, has conjunctivitis become a major concern for Fiji? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Bye for now.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.